Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Will Dodd, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a basic house in Tinkercad. So, the first thing that I want to do in this design is I want to go up to this wild name Tinkercad gave this file, Fabulous Denser. I'm going to go ahead and change that to Dodd's House. Oh, if I can type here. Dodd's House. All right. Once my screen comes back, we're ready to roll. I'm going to go ahead and put a ruler out on my work plane just because I like to get exact measurements when I'm working in Tinkercad. I'm going to go ahead and drag out a box here. And my house is going to be very basic. So feel free to make yours a lot more advanced than mine is, but we're just going for basic with my house that I'm going to show you right now. So you can see my measurements here. I got my width is 20 millimeters, length is 20 millimeters, height is 20 millimeters. I'm going to leave my height the same, but I'm going to change my length and width to 50 millimeters, which of course is equivalent to 5 centimeters. So that's going to be the main building of my house. Now I'm going to go ahead and get a roof over here in my basic shapes. And I'm just going to drag that shape out into my work plane. Now, we got to get this roof large enough, and we got to get it on top of my house. So I'm going to type in the same length and width that I just typed in. I'm going to make a width of 50 millimeters and a length of 50 millimeters. And boom, we got a roof that's the right size. However, we've got to get this roof up into the air and on top of our house. So let me show you how to do that. We know that our building is 20 millimeters tall. So what I want to do is click on my roof, and right here where it says 0, that's its elevation, like how high this shape is up in the air, because it's right on the work plane. So that means it's 0 millimeters high in the air. I want to go ahead and click on that and type in 20, which will put it right at the right height to go on top of our house. Now I could drag my roof on top of my house, or I could use my arrow keys on my keyboard to move my roof on top of my house, but I want my roof perfectly centered over my house. So what I can do to do that is I can click off my work plane here and just drag a rectangle that encloses both of those objects that I'm looking at. And you'll see both of those objects get outlined in blue. That means both are selected. That's a good thing. What I want to do then is go up to the toolbar here and click Align. And that's going to bring up my Align tool. And you'll see there's along the X-axis, there's 3 dots. Along the Y-axis, there's 3 dots. And then along the Z-axis, there's 3 dots. Now, what these dots do is if I click this first one here on the X-axis, it's going to align that roof towards that left. It like justifies it towards the left, sort of like centering your text on a Word document. Now, really, I want these perfectly centered, but it looks like since this roof is the same size, it just kind of blanked out all 3 dots. I'm going to center along the Y-axis with this dot here. And you can see my roof is perfectly on my house there. Now, something that you can do is you can click on the Z-axis. You can click this center dot or this bottom dot, and it's going to align these 2 objects along their Z-axis. So I can do that, and it actually puts the roof in the center of the house, which I don't want. So I can click the back button, and it puts it back where I do want it. So there's my house so far. I want to put a door in my house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up here to the box, but I'm going to get the box that is a hole. I'm going to move that out, and I'm going to resize this box hole. I'm going to resize its height to 10 millimeters, and I'm going to resize its width to 5 millimeters. And I'm going to do the same thing here with its length. All right, there we go. Now, I'm going to, instead of using the align, I'm just going to place this door into my design. So I got my door placed right there. And I also want to put a window into my house. So I'm going to pull out another box here. And I'm going to resize this one too, but I'm going to make it 5 by 5 by 5. All right. And I'm going to drag that into the front of my house. Now, that window probably needs to be higher up than it is right now. So what I can do is I can click this black triangle and actually drag it up into space if I wanted to do that. Another way I could do that is this number here, which is showing my elevation. I can just change that number if I wanted to. And I'm pretty happy where that's at right now. Now let me drag it back up to 7. It looks a little bit better. There we go. Now something else I can do is I can duplicate this window. So if I wanted multiple windows, I could actually select this. And I could make a duplicate by clicking up here, or on my keyboard, I could press Control D at the same time, but I'm going to click up here. So it made a duplicate, but it doesn't look like it made a duplicate because those two objects are actually on top of each other in space. So I can move it with my arrow keys, and then I have 2 windows. I'm going to duplicate that again and slide that third window over here. Now, something that I can do, if I actually wanted these holes to look like actual holes in my house, I can just select everything on my house and group them together, which is going to make them all one solid piece. But you'll notice all the colors change to red. What I can do, if I wanted to leave that roof green, I can click solid right here and I can click multicolor. It'll turn my roof back to green. Now, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but you can actually change the colors of your shapes. And to do that, I'm going to need to ungroup these shapes again. So like if I wanted to change the color of the walls of my house, I could go in and click whatever color I wanted it to be. So let's say light blue, and that would change. And then let's say I wanted my roof to be yellow. I could do that. And then I could group that back up by highlighting all my shapes, clicking group. And then again, you'll see it changes the color to the same color throughout. I can just open up color and click multicolor, and it'll change back my color. So that's my house. Again, you can make yours as complex as you want to, but this is my basic house, and I will see you in the next video.